I lived a mediocre and directionless life, bro, where I would look at people around and think, these people are so far ahead, I'm never going to catch up, I'm so far behind. I didn't realise that all I needed was a system. And now in this video, I'm going to share with you the 3 steps that you can take to develop your own system and overtake everyone around you, just like I've done. You could implement these from today and become completely self-directed and actually lead yourself to success. Yo man, my name's Jas, and on my channel, I drop absolute game, bro. I can't even lie. Drop a subscribe right now, bro. Discipline's gonna change your life, and I want you on this path with me. This is stuff you've never heard before, and this will help you dominate your goals, bro. Come on. You're probably like 20 years old if you're watching this. If you're 20, you've been conditioned for 20 years. If you're 25, you've been conditioned for 25. If you're 16, you've been conditioned for 16. There is no getting around it. You've always been led by someone else, and you probably will be for the rest of your life unless you take on board the advice that I'm going to give you today. Every like 50, 60 year old you see as well, they're like puppets on a string as well, just being led along by someone else. I was 21 years old and I was signing off a powertrain at work for a prototype vehicle at one of the top manufacturing suppliers in my country, yeah? And as I'm signing off that powertrain, checking everything, making sure everything's all good, I sort of realised that life might be meaningless, man. That this might be it. Like, this is the hole that I've been, this is like the pigeonhole that I've been pushed down, and now this will be what I'll do for the rest of my life, and maybe like manage someone one day who just does this for me, but that's about it. And that was a scary thought to me, man. And that's when I started thinking, no. There has to be more than this, bro. I got scared of that. You realise that everyone's been pigeonholed in some way, right? Like, there's a girl in your class who's really good at English, she's probably going to become some journalist because that's the pigeonholing. There's a guy who's really good at maths who might just go into like data analysis and he sits at a desk all day. There might be a guy who's really hardworking but he's not as smart as the other kids, and then he ends up as like an Amazon warehouse guy. He will work those 14-hour shifts, don't you worry. Pigeonholing. People get pigeonholed, bro. They get pushed down a route they don't want to go down, and then they end up there for the rest of their lives. I realised it pretty flipping early, bro, and that is when you got to say no. You take control, and the way you take control is you say to yourself, like, look, let's say your name's John. You got to think, like, do people look around and say, oh yeah, John, he's the guy that is XYZ. Like, whatever XYZ is, are you happy with that? Because for me, people would look around and say like, oh yeah, Jas, he's like pretty good at maths and he's an engineer. I don't really want to be known as like the guy who's an engineer, man. The guy who just signs off the powertrains at that company, the car company. When I'm like 40, I want to be known as, oh, that's Jas. He's the guy who, like, have you seen his family? Have you seen his physique? Have you seen his house? Have you seen X, Y, and Z of his? Oh, bro, I don't even really know what he does for work, but whatever he's doing is working, bro. Like, go chat to him. He's a pleasure to talk to as well. Even now, bro, I want to be known as Jas. Like, oh, he's the guy who's disciplined. He's the guy who, like, he's going to be up at 4. He's going to be training. He's going to be working. He works in a job that he really likes. He doesn't talk much about it, but flipping hell, bro, it's sick. And that is what's happened, bro. I got my dream job as a consultant research engineer. I've got my dream physique now. I've got such good levels of discipline as well. Like, I've completely turned it around from how I was before. So before, I was known as the guy who would just like be an engineer, gearbox engineer, powertrain engineer, and just like probably end up staying in that place where I was for like 40 years. But no, I wasn't happy being known as that guy. So you, John, Adam, Andy, whatever the hell your name is, bruv, are you happy with being known as what you are now? You have to kind of think outside of yourself. You have to think, okay, if someone objectively looked at me, you have to remove your consciousness from this, by the way. Like, you have to think, okay, if someone looked at me from the outside, objectively, what would they think? Be ruthless and raw, man. You might not like the answer, and you shouldn't like the answer. Sometimes I look at myself and I think, okay, let me go back to that thinking practice and think, what would they see and do I really like it? There are parts of me that I don't think people would think like greatly of them, and I should actually change that because I might be lacking in some places, bro. You have to always be self-introspective. You have to always be thinking like, where can I improve? And that is the way that you really get on it. So what really got me to the place where like my stereotype, like, oh yeah, Jas, he's the guy that he's disciplined and he's got good physique and he works in a job that he likes. What got me to that point, bruv? It was the discipline system. It was the system that I implemented onto myself. The Pathway of the Tiger. It ain't easy, but it has given me the life that I've wanted, man. And the link's in the description from Pathway of the Tiger if you want to go check it out yourself. Step 2, outline your macro. You need to use this step now to dictate your life's direction. So you want to be known as John Smith, the guy who, whatever, yeah? Whatever you want to be known as, close your eyes right now and imagine you're 70 years old, you've got that grey beard, you've got like grandkids around you, and you're just introspecting right now in your granddad's chair, yeah? what would you be happy with? What could you think back to and be like, I'm happy with that. I'm happy that I decided to hit gym when I was 20. I'm happy that I decided to change my career. I'm happy that I decided to start that business. I'm happy that I decided to make that risk and buy that house, or whatever it is, bruv. What were you happy to do when you were 70? Think as if you're actually that 70-year-old. Have your eyes closed, bro. You better have them closed right now, because that means you're an action taker. I'll give you a second. Now you've probably got a little vague memory in your head of when you're 70 years old, what memory you want to be looking back to. Open your eyes, think fondly of that memory as if it's the past tense, as if you're actually a 70-year-old right now. And we now need to reverse engineer that memory. And as you reverse engineer, you think, okay, if I'm 70 and jacked, I probably was 40 and jacked, and if I was 40 and jacked, I probably was hitting the gym when I was 20. In a certain way, you're probably doing hypertrophy workouts at 20, building up that body, building up that muscular frame, yeah? You don't need to go into too much detail about, like, in 20 years from now, what do I want to be doing? Think now to the reverse engineering. What one action can you do now that will actually be relevant to what you wanted at 70 years old? And that is now step 3. Keep that in mind, because this is now how we identify the micro. This is now how you lead yourself daily. This is the real source, bro. Break that entire memory down into that one action point and that one thing that you can do. It could be vague. It could be like work on business or work on body. Keep it vague for now if you want, because you might not have an idea of exactly what you want to do. And through the actual actions is when you get the ideas of how to make it completely specific to yourself. But you need to take the action first. Let's say it's to do with the body. It's an easy example, yeah? Easy enough. You need to be training. What type of training? You need to think now. Do I want to be like a fighter? Do I want to be like a runner? Do I want to be like a weightlifter, bodybuilder, whatever? Make a 6-month goal out of that. Think, oh, I want to add an inch to my biceps, or I want to reduce my 5k time by 5 minutes, or I want to increase my deadlift by 30 kilos, or something, like some sort of goal, yeah? And it has to be somewhat realistic. Don't be like, oh yes, my deadlift right now is 60 kilos and
I want to deadlift 600 kg
in 6 months. Don't be thinking that. Bro, if you want a massive goal for your lifetime and you want to be a deadlift like 200-300 kilos one day, flipping set that goal, bro, but not the 6-month one. The 6-month one, it needs to be something realistic, and it needs to be something a little bit smaller than you think, because now we're going to break it down into realistic daily steps. Just think, what are the 1 to 3 actions that I can do to make that 6-month goal happen? All it needs to be is simple, bro. If your goal is like to do with your physique, you just need to think, okay, I probably need to eat pretty good, I probably need to train really, really hard, and I need to sleep. So now you've got the 1 to 3 actions that you need to do. The one like overarching action, the one that you cannot live without, is the training, right? So that's the one you fully focus on. You're like, okay, what time am I going to train? What style of training am I going to do? Those, bro, that's the kind of question you want to be asking. You want to be asking like, what's going to stop me from training? What are the hindrances in my way? Like, what sort of mental movies am I shown, or what sort of mental dialogues am I shown by the side of my brain, the monkey that doesn't want to do this stuff, by the retard in my mind? Because we've all got 2 voices. We've got the devil on our shoulder, we've got the angel on our shoulder. What would each of them say, and how can we accentuate the angel and remove the devil? The only way you do that is by preempting what he's going to say. And you know yourself well enough, bro. You know what excuses are going to come into your head. Like for me, I know that if I'm in family time and I'm chilling with my family and we're talking, we're playing games or whatever, and then gym time comes around, I might not actually train. But I've identified this, and I know that to overcome this, yeah, I have to like aggressively stand up. I have to aggressively change my position, my posture, everything, in order to overcome the mental friction it takes to hit the gym and like switch tasks from family, nice, comforting time that could actually be seen as productive, yeah? Because in my mind, for example, has told me before that time with family and friends is productive. It is productive and it is good for you, but you cannot let anything get in the way of your goals. You structure these times into your timetable properly, okay? And on the point of timetable, you need a checklist, bruv. You need things that you do every single day that are congruent to your goals and the type of guy you want to be. So you want to dominate life, you want to lead yourself, yeah? The only way to do that is to Give yourself something to do, give yourself a task and absolutely dominate when you execute it. So I tell myself every day, for example, one of my non-negotiables, not even if I'm on holiday, I'm at my grandma's house, I don't care where I am, I'm doing one thing congruent to my goals, and then I'm also doing a cold shower all the time. I haven't skipped a cold shower all year because that's my non-negotiable. Why? Not because of the dopamine effect, not because it might like make my body more vascular, not because of the stress release, none of the like scientific reasons. I don't do it for that. I do it because it's a promise I've kept to myself, and it's a promise that I'm going to make sure I execute on, because that is the type of guy I want to be. I want to be the guy that leads myself, I want to dominate in life, I want to be excellent, and that is just part of it, bro. Part of that is having a non-negotiable that you actually make yourself do. I do the cold shower, entrepreneurs do the cold shower, athletes do cold showers, people who want to lead themselves in life and dominate, they do cold showers and these types of habits like meditation and stuff. Not always because of the scientific effect, because that's part of it, yeah, that's a good thing as well, but also because of how hard it is. How mentally challenging and how much mental friction you have to overcome to get this done. It levels up your brain, bro. It levels up your willpower, it levels up your discipline. That's what it's really for. Now set yourself a non-negotiable and stick to it. That could be waking up at a certain time, that could be doing a cold shower, that could be meditation, visualization, breath work, something that's hard for you. You have to do it, bro. And when you wake up tomorrow morning, yeah, and you have these tasks in your head, like, okay, like I've set a physique goal, so I'm going to train, or I want to become a good runner, so I'm going to go on a run, I'm going to do my cold shower. Get these things done really, really early. And the part of this is beating the sun. When you wake up, I talk about this a lot, beating the sun means waking up before the sun rises. And this is like a man's ultimate weapon, is when he's in solitude, when you're alone in your mind, no phone, no distractions, no nothing, just a knowledge of what you're going to do for that day, and you've woken up early to do it. That is when you're dominating competition, and that is when you're leading yourself, and that is when you will start to have this vitality and this energy about you, because this is what being a man and being the top of the top is all about, bro. This is when you start making real progress. And I know that you can do it, bruv. I know that you could do this tomorrow. I know that you could just pick up your phone right now, probably watching this on your phone, switch apps to the notes app, write down those two things. One non-negotiable habit and one action that you can take every single day for the next 6 months to achieve that 6-month goal. It ain't that hard to go and write two little bullet points in your notes. And if you don't, bro, if you've watched all this video, yeah, and you've wasted 15 minutes of your life on screens, again, another 15 minutes, at least make this 15 minutes count, bro. Because more than likely you can watch this video because you came from another video and you're going to go on to another video after this. At least make this one count. At least make this screen time justified. Write down those 2 bullet points. We've had a lot of thinking in this video, bro. Your mind might be a little bit frazzled because you've actually thought this time. You've actually used your mind. Put it to good use. Your brain's not going to remember any of this. Go and write it down. Go and write down these good ideas you're getting. Discipline destroyed the overthinker, anxious part of my mind. It gave me my dream job, my dream physique, and I am so relentlessly focused on my goals, bro. I feel flipping great these days. This whole year it's just been a dub. It's just been going up. I feel really good. Bro, I haven't even got ill this year. Touch wood, I don't get ill, but I haven't even got ill this year. It's crazy. All these good habits, it just lubricates your whole body, makes it a well-oiled machine in general. Not just towards your goals, but just in general, bro. I operate at a high level now. People think that I'm a remarkable individual, that they've never met me before, just at work, random interactions. They talk about me to other people. I've heard this, from higher up guys, bro, that they're talking about what Sick Guy Jazz is and they want me on their team. Just from 1 or 2 interactions. How can that happen? How does energy radiate so loud from me that people can think that they want me on their team type of thing? It's a pretty big commitment to say I want to hire someone, I want someone to work with like him. It's because of these good habits, bro. It's because of this discipline. It's because people can smell it on you, bro. They can smell when they're around a high energy, high testosterone young man, young bull energy, bro. I want that for you, man. I want that high energy life. I want you to realize that you're worth so much more, man, than just mediocrity. I want you to realize as well that the path that you've been pushed down is not it, bruv. You need to realize that there's more for you on the other side. If you pick the path, I've picked the pathway of the tiger. If you want to mug everyone at work, you want to mug everyone at school, you want to be that guy, you want to be the one that's got jacked, you want to be the one that in 6 months, people barely even recognize you because of your success and because of your progress, then hit that link in the description right now, bro. It's the place you need to be, I can't lie. That is where I break down everything. I drop all my game, like, in order, in a proper structured format. And bro, if you're not ready for that yet, continue watching the YouTube. I post some crazy high quality game on here that I've never heard of before, because I actually live this life, bro. I actually do these good habits. Not that these other YouTubers who fake it, I actually flipping do it, bro. Like, bro, I'm actually playing this on hard mode because I got a full-time job as well. High level career that requires my mind. And I'm still here, bro. I've got enough energy for all of it. I mean, like, come bring it, bruv. If you want this high energy, if you want this lifestyle, if you want this success, hit the subscribe right now. Check the link in the description. You ain't gonna regret it, bro. Sweat or regret, man. I'm out.